street legal two-stroke motorcycles ever, and you found it, guys. Welcome to Two-Stroke Bike Week 2023, you boys. This is nuts. We're off to quite a start. I can't hear anything, but it is Two-Stroke Bike Week 2023. Let's go see what we can find. We have so much to see. Was that a cool way to start a video or what? That sounded like a motocross gate. I gotta tell you guys, this is one of my favorite events of the year, bar none. The bikes are so cool, the people are so cool, and don't worry, if you couldn't be here, this is your VIP pass to Two-Stroke Bike Week 2023. So sit back, relax, let us know where you're watching from, and come on this tour with us. Watch all the way to the end. So like I said, we got some stories to tell and some two-strokes to see. No valves, no cams, no shims. This video is all about two-strokes. We're up in the mountains. They are all here. Look, we got a little barbecue going on. The sweet smell of two-stroke exhaust is in the air, guys. Yes, it is Two-Stroke Bike Week. We got so much to see and so many stories to tell. Always a great time here at Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. That's right, two-stroke fans, we are back. Hope you saw our video from last year. I know hundreds of thousands of you did. Thanks a lot for that. And we wouldn't miss this for anything. Two-Stroke Bike Week here at the Dragon, Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. It is right on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. And what really makes this event special is this loyal, passionate group of two-stroke fans gather here every single year. And like I said, it's not a bunch of museum pieces. These are riders. They're gonna take it out and conquer the Dragon, 318 curves and 11 miles. Well, here's the deal, guys. We've got a lot of motorcycles to see, a lot of stories to tell. So let's take a look around, sit back, relax, settle in, smell that glorious premix, because we have got some two-strokes to show you. Yeah, like I said, guys, you can see by the tank bag, a rider. This is a 1976 KH500 last year for the 500 two-stroke triple. And as you'll see, even if you get the jetting right, sometimes they'll blow a little bit of oil out the back from time to time. This one's got some miles on it. How many miles you got on this, sir?
I've ridden it about 45,000.
Oh, 45,000 miles. That is what is so cool. And we'll even see a Vespa scooter. What year is that Vespa?
79.
79 Vespa scooter here at the Dragon, ready to tear it up. You never know what you are going to see, that's for sure. How much fun is this thing on a Dragon?
More fun than you can have with your clothes on.
All right, well, we'll have to go check it out here in a second. Very cool. What's the Dragon, some of you may ask? Well, it's 318 curves and 11 miles here on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. Deals Gap, North Carolina is where we're at right now. Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. A 1967 Bridgestone GTR 350. Did you know Bridgestone, the same company that makes those tires I'm sure you heard of, once made a two-stroke? Here's another Bridgestone. This one's a 200. Very cool, very rare, very collectible. You guys will see it all here. How about a Kawasaki KE 125? Part of what makes this event so special is we're here in the mountains, Tennessee, North Carolina border. You know, we could meet up anywhere. We could do this in the middle of the winter and meet up at a convention center. We could make it a show. We could meet somewhere flat, somewhere easy. No, these guys say, let's go to the Dragon. And it is so cool because, like I said, when these motorcycles are street legal, street worthy, I I don't just mean that they start and they run and they go down to the gas pump and fill up. I mean, they tackle the dragon. 318 curves in 11 miles. It is the black diamond of street riding. You never know what you're going to see here. This one, absolutely clean, iconic. They call it the Water Buffalo. It is the first Japanese water-cooled motorcycle. It is in 1976. Liquid-cooled Suzuki GT750. This one, ultra clean. Beautiful, guys. Take a look. It's a thing of beauty, and it is a piece of history. Very desirable by collectors. Here's another rare one, 1970 Suzuki T252, 2 cylinders. Here's a very popular one amongst two-stroke aficionados, 1984 RZ350 Yamaha. The Kenny Roberts bike. This one, though, if you haven't watched our video from last year, you'll understand why it's the Kenny Rogers bike, the Gambler. 1973 Kawasaki H1 500 Mach 3.
That dude can handle it, man.
One of our favorites here, 1984 KR250A, 2-stroke tandem twin rotary engine. They were only available in Australia and Japan, but one has found its way to Deals Gap. 1973 Kawasaki 350 Bighorn, single cylinder. This one will separate the men from the boys when it comes to starting it up. I think Shane, I don't know, man. Are you up for the challenge of starting this 2-stroke?
We'll make an effort.
How hard is it to start, though? We'll see. Oh, it's got some compression. Yes, there it is, baby. Third kick. Riders today are spoiled with electric start.
Yeah, I don't know that an electric start will work on it, but I'm looking into the possibility of making that happen, though.
Shane, these bikes came with big fat knobbies. You got it set up for the street. I love it. You got a big disc on the front, nice soft street tire. I bet this thing hooks up great.
It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
No
I mean,
doubt.
it was fun building it. Hang on, it's cold. It's all right.
And Suzuki fans, before we got into the GT, there was just the T500. This one's a 1973 model. We might be breaking some kind of record, guys, because another pair of water buffaloes, from what I understand, I think they've got about 8 of them on property here, all riders. Carl Zavoni, big thanks to my man. I gotta say, looking wonderful, perhaps the best dressed guy on the property. How about that? Carl, I gotta thank you because I found out about this event through you. We're friends from the drag strip. You said you gotta come see these guys at Deals Gap. It's crazy. Last year was a huge success. Seems like it's even growing this year. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit more interest than maybe from the video last year, and a lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. So,
well, that's what's so cool, that people were watching us from different countries and they want to get here, they want to experience this. What is so unique about this event that separates it from a show, from auctions, is all the riders. For 7 days, you guys camp out, you work on the bikes, you ride the bikes. 86 RG500 Gamma. These are so collectible. These are so awesome. And Toby, you're smiling, cracking up. I'm so happy for you because you say you found this bike in a
pawn shop.
Oh, I hope you got a good deal. I hope it wasn't Pawn Stars.
No, it's good.
And you got a good deal?
Yes.
Oh my God. Can you believe the value and the way it's increased on these bikes?
I just increased the insurance 10,000.
My man, very cool. And you're out there ripping on it and having fun, so thank you so much. Don't hide them, ride them. And for those of you who do not know about this bike, count these exhaust pipes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-cylinder, 2-stroke, Moto GP inspired. At the time, Suzuki was tearing up the circuit with this type of configuration. They decided to unleash it on the streets. We have a signature there too. Who do we have?
Kevin Swan.
Now here's the big thing though, in '86 you could not sell this motorcycle in the United States, so there were 900 sold in Canada. This one came from Canada. 73 heavily modified RD 400. And sir, I just heard you say it's a death trap.
It's a death trap, yes.
Why do you say that?
Because it's too light for what it is, and the power band is off the hook.
Off the hook. Be careful with it. You said you found out real quick, huh? Crack that throttle. Oh boy, they're a lot of fun. And guys, that's something that makes two-strokes so popular is the power to weight ratio. The power band, the strong hit, when it comes on, it's gonna make your teeth chatter. Make sure you know what you're doing. That's why he calls it a death trap. Guys, we found another RG Gamma 1986. Absolutely beautiful piece of history. You gotta love having this motorcycle, huh?
I do. It's
Now,
my dream bike.
I can tell you, I've been to Mecum. The value on these things going through the roof. We're hearing north side of 30,000. Does that sound right?
That's right.
Good Lord. Well, show me what you've done to this one, because you've actually made some upgrades and put some different parts on this. Come in here and give me a little tour.
Got a different swing arm from a more modern Suzuki.
Okay.
Got a different rear wheel, forged aluminum wheel. It's got a Kojin shock, different front end. It's built to rip.
I love it. I mean, that probably really helps the performance. Do you worry from a value standpoint that you've put different parts on it, or do you just, I'm sure you kept the stock parts too, right?
Nope, this is how it is.
This is how it is. Hey, I like it. It's his, guys.
It's to ride.
That's right. That's what I say. Well, let's hear an RG for all our enthusiasts and fans out there. Oh, I love it. ZRX riders are allowed to come to Two-Stroke Bike Week too. We welcome you. And shout out to my guys over here on the ZRXs. Why are they here from a long distance? Because you had two strokes when you were younger, right? Yes, even if you don't have them anymore, it's still cool to reminisce. Here's a real legend here, 1972 Kawasaki H2 750, the Widowmaker. Very valuable bike, but I'll tell you guys, help me out in the comments, is the Gamma the most valuable Japanese two-stroke? First reaction, you want to say the H2. We've seen them go for 25, 30 at Mecum, but with those Gammas going for, you're hearing stories of 40,000, they could quickly become, if not already, the most valuable two-stroke. Good to see Jeff from Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Once again, our resident iron butt. We featured him last year. Well, guess what? Sometimes you don't have enough garage space in that unforgiving, cold Pennsylvania winter. You're telling me you had to leave it outside for a little bit?
Yeah, working on a project and didn't have the space, so had
well,
to push it out.
We just got to shine her back up. I told you, those PA winters, those PA winters can be rough, but it's still here, and it is a beautiful H2 750. A 72 DS7 250 real survivor, guys. Who remembers this bike? Another RG500 Gamma. We're going to learn more about that in a second. And he rides it here at the Dragon too. Just do not end up in the tree of shame. Unfortunately, with 318 corners and 11 miles, there are some incidents from time to time at the Dragon. We're going to cross our fingers. We want absolutely none of that, but the tree of shame shows you a bunch of parts that were found up on the mountain. A Let's just hope there's no two-stroke parts in there. But the good news is we'll keep everybody well fed. That'll help riding ability. We've gotta love it. And this accentuates what this event is all about. It's a brotherhood, it's bonding. It's about getting together and celebrating the motorcycles you love here at Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. Guys, multiple rooms. I believe they have 15, 16 rooms, and they are all sold out for this event. It is such a cool celebration of two-strokes. 1985 Yamaha RZ. Again, the Kenny Roberts bike. Right next to it, we have, what, a 76 to 75 Yamaha RD 400. A lot of fans of these motorcycles. 1978 Yamaha RD 400. Right next to it, a modified 1976 RD 400. Plenty of powerful small bore bikes. 1972 Suzuki GT 250. Another H2. Love it, guys. Check out the chrome. This one's got a chrome swing arm. We're gonna have to find out a little bit more about this in a bit. I told you, you never know what will show up. How about a KDX? This could be a good idea if you get offline up there and end up in the woods. Kawasaki KDX 200 right now. This rider, from what I understand, trying to get this thing sorted out. I think he's got a petcock leak, which unfortunately is the reason for that fuel.
Subscribe now. You won't regret it.
Thank you very much. 76 GT 550 with a 73 engine. You see the Ram air system. The 550 was never liquid cooled. This was always an air cooled motorcycle. Take a look at this decal, guys. Maybe somebody in the comments can help us translate, but what's that tell you? It was not sold in the United States of America. This motorcycle came direct from Japan. It is a Yamaha TZR 250. The year was 1987, and remember, two-strokes were already illegal in the United States. Could not sell them here. Manufacturers could no longer sell two-strokes. Remember, due to environmental concerns, manufacturers could not sell two-stroke street motorcycles in the United States after 1985. But, you know, fast forward to today, some of these individuals have found workarounds and found ways to get these motorcycles plated. We know if you're a KTM trail rider, you know that you've seen somebody out there with a modern two-stroke that has it plated that can ride from trail to trail. So it's nice to see this motorcycle plated on the street here in the States. Was it difficult to go through that process?
No, not at all. If you get the import paperwork from the importer, you can take it to the DMV, and if you have somebody at the DMV that understands that with a JDM or elsewhere more import bike, you just fill the paperwork like anywhere else.
Pretty cool. So Yamaha couldn't sell it in the United States, but here it is many years later, living on the road. Here we go. Let's hear this baby come to life. That's quiet motorcycle, huh?
It is, yeah. All stock. Yeah. Rebuilt, but stock.
Now I gotta imagine this 250 being so lightweight, being a road race bike, probably just loves the dragon, huh?
It's really, really good. It'll carry speed to the corners really well. It's 308 pounds from the factory, ready to ride.
So cool. Perhaps the perfect bike for up here. First production bike to break 100 miles an hour at Isle of Man.
As a consistent lap, as a production racer, a stock one of these had the first consistent 100 mile an hour lap at Isle of Man.
Consistent 100 mile an hour lap at Isle of Man. How about it? Crazy custom creation. We'll learn more about this here in just a little bit. If you have ever owned a two-stroke, if you have ever ridden a two-stroke, I want to hear about it down below in the comments. How cool is this too? By the way, guys, I hope you're loving this coverage. Make sure you hit subscribe. If you appreciate my efforts, you can do so right on this channel. There's just so much to see here. I love this event. Let's take a deeper dive into some of these stories. Here's something else we can talk about too with the collectability of these motorcycles. Original tank, big dent. It has seen some issues since the 70s, but a lot of collectors will tell you that's the right thing to do. I've told the story before. I was at Mecum. There was a panel of experts, 5 or 6 of them, who value these bikes, and the question was posed, you get a dent in your tank, what do? Replace it, try to fix it, leave it alone? Without pause, they all said, leave it alone. It's only original once. Now, you can do whatever you want when it comes to personal preference. We've seen that. It's your bike. You can do whatever you want. But if you're looking for maximum value, leave it alone. Keep it original. I told you I wish you could smell the 2-stroke smoke. I also wish you could smell how good that smells. You got the skills over here on the grill.
Yeah, we're gonna fry these babies down and then simmer them with some beans, fresh bread and butter. Can't beat it.
What's better than that? Whatever you got to do to get them here, guys, but I want to give you a closer look at this TZ. Is this thing awesome or what? So rare. 4-cylinder, 2-stroke, meant to be a total all-out race bike, but it is here. Something that we actually wanted to open the show with too, because I thought it was so cool. But you know, these 2-strokes, does it have a kicker?
No.
No kicker.
No kicker.
So I imagine you have to be careful where you're at with this bike, right?
Yep. Yeah, gotta be like downhill.
You need a race team, you need a pit crew to push you.
2-stroke so to do it.
2-stroke fans, get ready. It is 2-stroke bike week once again, and we're gonna show you some things that you have never seen before. Look at this amazing motorcycle. This thing is incredible. That's why I want to take 2.
I'm in the wrong gear. That has to be the wrong gear.
Oh, wait, hold on. We weren't live. All right, wait till it gets quiet. And
That's the bell of the ball, right?
here we go. Ready? In 3. 2-stroke fans, get ready. It is 2-stroke bike week once again, and we're going to show you some things that I'm sure you have never seen before.
TZ750 start.
It's a 2-stroke. Hey, you don't have to make excuses for 2-strokes.
What happened to my bike?
No. Oh no, there we go, thank you. Well, cut on that one.
Yeah, once it's warm in the mornings, we just bump start it. After that, like during the day, I'll just roll it down the hill.
Wow, is that thing cool or what?
Let's see if we can reach it. Okay. Arizona had it.
Okay.
It was a project, and he would never get to it, and he asked me if I wanted it.
I was gonna say, how did he end up with it?
He's a collector.
He's a collector, okay.
He buys them and restores them.
Because these bikes very, very hard to come by, right? Not too many of them left, made for the racetrack.
Yeah, most are in collections now.
Wow.
It just got too valuable to actually ride.
And I see you got it plated. Was that process tough, getting it plated?
Not too bad, no.
Let's see.
Tennessee's not terrible.
I didn't even say, okay, you got it plated in Tennessee. That's cool.
This title, TZ750.
That is so cool. What is this thing like to ride on the street?
It's too much for here. It's crazy. Yeah,
I bet.
It's just way too much.
Where is it right at home? On the highway?
Blue Ridge Parkway with no speed limit would be nice.
Oh, I bet it is. Got some riders ready to go. You hear that? You smell that? It must be two-stroke bike week. Come on, guys. Let's go for a ride. Found my man Judd once again from Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. Judd, you guys have created the ultimate vacation for the two-stroke fan. The rooms, the restaurant, the beers on tap, everything. Tell me, I mean, has this exceeded your expectations again?
These guys always do. Every year they fill up, they book us out, they throw a party. What's not to like? This is it.
I love it. And what's so cool with the magic of digital media and YouTube, there's a lot of people from far and wide that have commented about this video. How do I get here? Tell these people, what do you offer if they want to come here and stay on site?
So a 14-room motel. We've got a little bar and grill that you can come and have a beer and a burger with. We've got the official Dragon merchandise. We've got 93 non-ethanol pump gas right here. I mean, there's really nothing else that you could want. Plenty of curvy roads, plenty of things to see in the area. Ground zero.
And I think you said it best last year. That is the black diamond of roads. Very, very difficult.
Yep.
I love it. You said something 2 moments ago. I appreciate you taking me around. That it's very important to be on your game and finish every corner. You said there's 318 curves. You don't get a T-shirt for 317.
That's right. Yeah, you don't get a T-shirt for cutting corners. That's not what it's about. It's about having a good time, enjoying yourself, riding with your friends. These two-stroke guys, I think, really show what it is in that motorcycling community in its essence, because they do as much talking as they do riding, and that's what it's about. It's about that community, getting to know each other, getting to help each other out, rebuild stuff, tear stuff apart, put it all back together, and then go ride and tell stories.
Very cool. You guys have a great safety record up here. Let me ask you this, so if somebody is new and wants to give it a try, what's the best advice you could pass on if they come here for the first time?
First of all, get educated. Right, MSF is a great foundation. Yamaha Champions Riding School, another great continuing education course. Knowledge is power. Whether you're driving a car, you're walking, down the street, or you're riding a motorcycle on a mountain curvy road or a racetrack, you want to have fun with it. Nobody wants to do something and be scared out of their mind. It's enjoyable. It's something you want to do long term. So knowledge is power with that. Sarah, my wife, and I went to Yamaha Champions Riding School. Fantastic. Highly recommend that. But just come and have fun. These guys are great knowledge, but you need to know what you're doing here as well.
I like it, man. Thanks so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Judd from Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. Come see him. Here with my man Joe. Joe, I got to shake your hand because perhaps the most identifiable iconic two-stroke ever is the 1972 H2 750. You tell me that's not really 72. Tell me the story here.
It's a 73. I wanted a 72, couldn't find a 72. A 73, there's almost no difference at all but the paint, and so I bought the 73 and then painted it like a 72 because that's what I wanted.
Very cool. Where did you find it?
A guy in, I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and this guy was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and sold me a box, several boxes of parts.
Well, you did a wonderful job. What was the hardest part of the restoration? Was it difficult to source some of these components?
Well, actually, the hardest part of the restoration was staying with, because literally any time I did it over the fall and the winter, about 10 years ago, and if anybody would have walked up to me at any time in the process and said, "I'll give you what you got in it," I'd have said, "Take it, take it," because I mean it was a struggle, you know, finding the parts. You could find them, but you had to, you know, I had to drive to other cities and stuff to get parts, and then trying to get the painter to go ahead and paint the bike. You know, he put on the base coat and I striped it, and then he put on the clear coat. But painters, they take a while.
Excellent. Well, you did a great job. Nice work. Final question. Can I have it? Can I buy it? I want it. It's my dream bike. Great. I know you're probably never going to give that one up, huh?
Nope, probably not.
Beautiful bike, guys. We're celebrating 2 strokes. Let's see what other stories we can find. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well,
Stuck float.
Yeah,
That happens.
it'll make it back.
They do.
That's
Well,
nice.
what it is, because
That's
it's
nice.
clean and
You know,
so.
mine never did.
Well, she sounded great while she was running.
Joe, you need a light?
And still in wonderful mechanical condition. That happens with these carburetors.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear guys, they'll knock on it with a screwdriver every once in a while, right, to get it unstuck.
Yep, it'll happen.
75 TZ 750 4-cylinder 2-stroke. Now, the only thing I got to ask you though, do you ever worry if you're out there soloing and the bike stalls, and don't have your starting apparatus, and you don't have anybody with you?
Once it's warm, it starts pretty easy.
You just push it and bump start.
Yeah, you can bump.
Just push it and bump it. Okay,
Cold,
very cool.
Cold, you need rollers, but once it's warm, you're good.
Well, would it be possible to put a starter on this bike?
No.
No. Wow. That's crazy.
No,
Race machine only, huh?
Yeah, there's no provisions for any street stuff on these, just race bikes.
Just race bike. Well, thank you very much for showing us.
Right. That dude can handle it, man.
And I'll tell you, 1 2-stroke I admittedly did not know a whole lot about until last year was the Gamma. The fan base for these Gammas, people are just absolutely going nuts. We got to follow you around a little bit, and I posted it up on Facebook, and people were like, where did that Gamma come from? It's awesome. So a very rare and iconic bike, this one 1986. Joe, how did you end up with this bike?
Well, I'm a Yamaha guy, Kawasaki guy from years going by. On the phone one night with Rick Lance, telling me, legend for 3 hours, he's telling me how I need to buy a Gamma. And eventually I said, yeah, one fell out of the sky, landed in my laps, this 1986 Rick Lance build. And I jumped on it because if I didn't do it now, you'd never get it. So at this point right now, I'm in love with it.
Now, what's so cool and desirable about these bikes is it's a race bike that was offered from the factory, and that's what makes it so special and rare, correct?
Right. He's got a lot of Go Fast goodies on this, a lot of the Rick Lance specials, and pipes, the big bore kit, wheels, suspension, everything on this thing is ready to go. It handles like a cloud. Difference between the Yamaha RD, the RZ500, and this thing, it's like a wrestling match and riding on a cloud, you know.
Yeah, it must be tailor-made for the drag.
And when you're right on the valves and the pipe, this thing just comes out of the curve, one wheel. I mean, it handles so much better than any other bike I've ridden up here.
Well, it sounds great. It smells great. Well, great bike, man. Thanks for showing us. Keep her on 2 wheels. Is that awesome? Or what? Gamma fans, there you go. I know you got stories about it down below. Tell us more about the Gamma in the comments. So many great bikes. I think this might be the best story here, though. I want to introduce you to my friend Tim. Tim, we call it the Phoenix because it rose up from the ashes. It is a bit of a Frankenstein, but more than that, it symbolizes the brotherhood in this community. You had a really unfortunate event, and these two-stroke guys picked you up. Tell me a little bit about how this came to be.
Well, in 2003, my shop caught fire and burnt to the ground after lightning struck it. I lost 7 triples, a hot rod car, and a very rare Blazer Chalet camper. Watched it burn to the ground in 10 minutes. The next day, I got online on the old Kawasaki Triples Worldwide forum and informed everybody what happened, and people from all over the world sent me parts to build that motorcycle.
Unbelievable. That is, you know, that's like the two-stroke version of GoFundMe. It was up to you to put it together, though. So what do we have there? It's a bit of a combination.
That's a probably stage 1 ported 1971 72 H2 750 motor. The top end, well, the whole motor was originally built by the late Ron Reichert of Purple Haze Racing. And then Jeff Gutblatt, right up the road here, gave me the frame and chassis. And Kurt Wolfgang Peterson supplied the paint work and body work. And Mark Haas did all the machine work and all electrical wiring.
Custom set of gauges. It says the Phoenix on it,
that's
too,
right.
huh?
And Rick Brett in the United Kingdom provided the gauges with the Phoenix moniker on there and the bike built by the board.
That is so cool. So what did it mean to you to have these guys, some of them who barely know you or never met you, pick you up and say, here's some parts, we feel terrible for you, this could happen to any of us, we all dread the day, let's knock on wood, we never have to get through
I certainly wasn't expecting it when the parts started showing up, let's put it that way. And I tell you, I'm beholden to all these guys, and this community that we have that's been here since 1999. I started coming in 04 after this bike was built, and I've only missed 2 years since then, one for COVID and one for family reasons.
Very cool. Well, you did a great job with the bike, and I know some of you watching probably donated parts, so thank you guys. Let's keep this two-stroke community going strong. The good stories just keep coming, and I think this might be the most unique custom two-stroke on the property. Certainly the lightest custom two-stroke. Mark, awesome bike. Okay, this thing caught my eye right away. Totally custom TIG welded chrome alloy chassis.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this creation.
So, make a very long story short, I worked at a place with a lot of really, really good fabricators. They could weld, they could fabricate. One of them was actually sitting behind me. And I was an engineer, he was a fabricator. We came up with a project to go ahead and do this outside of work. We made 4 of these chassis jigged off of a stock RD 350 frame, 74. So the geometry all stayed the same, but to make it as light as possible. And after about 3 or 4 years of I designing it, Danny working on it, his name is Danny Porter, to give Danny credit because he deserves it. We came up with this frame, and there was only 4 of them built, and that was the first one that was done.
Wow. Truly amazing. And I know you talk about how you just keep shaving weight off it. You said you found 3 pounds to shave just the other day. How much does the bike weigh in at total?
With a gallon of gas in it, it weighs 243 pounds, street legal, ready to ride.
Unbelievable. So what gave you the idea to create this thing?
There was a land speed bike that got a lot of press that was about 246 pounds, and it wasn't street legal. And I looked at it, I said, I bet I can outdo that and make it street legal. And I just wanted another, I didn't want to keep doing the same thing. I wanted something different, and I had access to somebody with a lot more fabrication talent than I had, and I just seized the opportunity.
All right, so real quick, give me the defining features here, because I'm seeing a lot we haven't talked about. Monoshock, electronics, some kind of custom wires going over your headlight here. Just rattle and hum the custom features for a second.
Real quick, so of course the frame.
Of course the frame.
The frame and the suspension. I mean, the nicest thing about it is all the geometry stock, so all aftermarket stuff that you can order offline will fit. Pipes, rear sets, everything else. It's got a CDI on it. It's got actual lighting. It's got charging, which a lot of these bikes won't have. It's got modified stock forks. It's the if it's not broken, don't fix it thing. So I went with stock stuff. The headlight is probably the most unique visual thing because it's a Wild. I think it's a Wild 2 headlight from a '67 motocrosser, and it's the only thing I didn't care about weight. And I found it in a box of parts that I had. I didn't even know what it was to, and I stuck it on to go to Barber with to put it in the show, and it just stayed. So, but the really notable stuff is the front fender is hand-rolled titanium, and this guy back here in the blue, he did it for me on an English wheel after work one day. So, and all the hardware that I could possibly change is titanium. The motor is ported by Chuck Quenzler, who's the guy up there with the yellow RD. He's probably one of the best builders in the country, so it's got way more power than it needs. The heads are a set of cast Webco reproduction heads by Ralph Ponce. I think they made 1,000 sets of them. That is the last set that was ever made. He held them for me till the project was done, and the frame was designed to clear the heads. That's why it's so close.
Very cool. Not to mention mono shock. I'll have a CBR with a Kawasaki spring. You
Yeah,
said?
CBR 600RR shock. I think it's a Kawasaki 650 Ninja spring on it to get the rate right. And then I had to modify the stock springs and the preload on the front ones because it's so light, it just felt like you're riding. It was too stiff. So.
Well, there you go, YouTube world. I promise you, you'll never see one quite like this. And anytime I ever delve into the custom world and you ask people, why'd you do this? It's always the same answer, to be different. I want something that's one-on-one, and you got something that's one-on-one.
It's good. Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And a lot of these guys here at this meet online over the years helped me with ideas, sourcing parts, wanting to try this. And so kind of like all the other bikes, it's a little bit of everybody involved.
A two-stroke like you have never seen before.
Not a problem.
Buffalo? There you go. Oh, wow.
I told you they have come from far and wide, all the way from Nolan, shall we say. How about it? Johnny's here with not one, not two, not three, but 4 two-stroke motorcycles. So I know you wait all year for this. The one that really caught our eye is, I said earlier, the 72 H2 may be the most iconic bike, but then it's debatable. The 75 might be the most desirable because there weren't a lot of them. Right. Tell me about this purple 75.
Well, they made 5,005 of them. I'm from New Orleans. I got it from a friend of mine. He's a fireman who knew a guy I knew 30 years ago, and I didn't know that until after we met. It's restored a few months ago. It's got 2 miles on it. And next we got a water buffalo. And but that's, you're right, it is iconic. It's got Denka chambers, it's freshly rebuilt mild port. I haven't really enjoyed it too much yet. We're still synchronizing the carbs and all, and it's got a pretty good story to it.
Well, you've got 2 of the GTs, so how would you compare it to the GTs, the Suzuki?
The Suzuki, I'll tell you, that little baby, the pink 250, her name's Pinky, it zips through these. I mean, and
I bet.
And I'm a little above novice, obviously, but I zip with the 250. I like it a lot.
Speaking of a zipper, too, you even got the Kawasaki KE.
KE 125 6-speed, 78, and it's enduro, on-road, off-road. It probably goes about 70. It zips around pretty good.
Well, awesome collection, man. Keeping her on 2 wheels out there. It's awesome. 4 two-strokes. Is he the man or what? guys, have you ever seen a two-stroke Vespa scooter at the Dragon here, Deals Gap, North Carolina? He is taking in two-stroke bike week, shredding some corners. I hear him coming once again. And 18 curves.
Concrete bridge.
Hey, two-stroke bike week. We didn't say it couldn't be a scooter. Rob, nice to meet you moments ago. Now, I know you've been following what we're doing at the drag strip, and mini bikes, scooters, they've been becoming a real big thing, and we're seeing that trend carry over. You're telling me you were here on your KZ650, you decided to come back, but decides to come back on a 79 Vespa. How does this come about?
It's just I've known about the meet for a couple years, and every time I just forget about it, and I show up on a different bike just on that weekend by accident. So this year I put it on the calendar, and I brought three. I brought this because it's unique, and then I brought an RD and an RGV. But this bike itself was purpose built for the Dragon. I think we started it 2 or 3 years ago. This is its final incarnation, if you will.
Yeah.
It does really, really well up here. Has plenty of power, and it surprises a lot of people.
Now I know you got some serious upgrades to this thing. Tell me about what's done.
Well, basically, it's a factory P-series frame, Malossi VR1 cases, Malossi 187 top end, 64 millimeter crank, carbon fiber reeds, vape ignition, Kramaz Pro Series transmission, and an SIP clutch, fully ported case match, and all the hot rod fittings were put together by Lee Luff, and we're hoping for mid-30s at the rear wheel.
Nice.
We haven't had time to dyno it yet, but one of these days we'll get around to it.
All right, here's the $1 million question. We're surrounded by great classic two-strokes. Why a scooter?
Oh, that was my first bike I ever bought, was a scooter. I was 16 years old, and I bought a Lambretta.
It's two-stroke.
Yep,
it counts.
I've had them ever since. I've always had a scooter. No matter how many motorcycles I've ever owned or bought and sold, I've always had a scooter in the garage.
Very cool, man. Well, we got to get you to the racetrack. We got to get you to the drag strip. It's a two-stroke, guys. It counts. With my main man Evans. Good to see you, man. I gotta say, you got one of the coolest collections.
Oh, cool, man.
The Water Buffalo, the RZ350, the Kenny Roberts or Kenny Rogers.
Rogers, yes. I have a one-of-one Kenny Rogers edition RZ. I got asked I heard so many times from other people that said, hey, I had one of those Kenny Rogers editions RZ back in the day, so I decided to make mine a one-of-one.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Which motorcycle you like better?
Well, it's got to be the RZ. It's 200 pounds lighter than the Water Buffalo, and when you set them up correctly with the brakes and suspension with a few tasteful performance mods, it's perfect riding for up here.
Yes.
Perfect.
This is such a great, meaningful event too. What's it like to just get together with your friends, sharing some fellowships, sharing our love for motorcycles up here?
Man, we all love it. We look forward to it. It's a great group of guys, and a lot of us, I guess, we're reliving our past, some of our youth, with the two-strokes. But we live and dream two-strokes. That's what we have, and we grew up on it, so love it.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for having me. Unfortunately, though, just like in other forms of sport, motorsport, we're getting older. We're losing good people.
Right.
And unfortunately, somebody very special couldn't be here this year.
Yes,
Passed on.
yes. John Evans, what a great guy from Heber Springs, Arkansas. And by the way, he loved your YouTube channel. He followed it, by the way. We actually, I laminated some of his pictures that I knew that happened. He's actually on the back of the speaker here, 2018. That's him on his Daytona Special, pulling an epic wheelie down there. And he also had an RZ 350. He fought a courageous battle with cancer, and we lost him back in November. But his two sons, Ben and Casey, they came and they brought two of his two-stroke motorcycles, the 84 RZ 350 and the 79 Yamaha Daytona Special here, and they rode yesterday. We also had a memorial last night. I gotta say, he was a great guy. He would give you the shirt off his back. I never heard him say a negative thing about anybody. So if we can all strive to be half the man he was, the world will be a better place.
Need more people like that. And speaking of shirt, we got one for him.
Oh yes, we do. Yeah, we actually have a shirt that we, during the time of the memorial last night, we mentioned this and we had people sign this to give a little sentiment. By the way, Jack, we would love to have you sign the shirt too.
I'm honored.
Since he was a follower and a fan of you.
I'm honored.
So that would be great. I'm going to pull it kind of taut so you can do that.
Well, I know he's got the best seat in the house, and we miss him, so I appreciate it, guys. And it's really heartwarming that you do this and you remember good friends, because I mean that's what riding motorcycles is all about. That's what this channel is all about. That I look at you, everybody here, some of the best people in my life I've met through motorcycles, and I think a lot of people can say the same. Thank you. I'm honored that you would want me to sign the shirt, so thank you so much.
And by the way, I got a little special surprise gift for you too.
Stop it.
Last year, I heard how the 73 S3 Kawasaki 400 triple was your dad's bike, and it had such a special meaning to you.
Blue S2. Blue S2. That's what we used as a thumbnail.
It was the 350, right? Oh! So I brought this for you to have. And I know that your dad's still with us, so give this to him and see if he gets a little teary-eyed with it.
Good Lord, man. Thank you.
It's the least I can do, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Jack.
much. Guys,
thanks for all you do, man.
Thank you for what you do. Guys, take a look at this. How cool is that? What a great present. Laminated dealer pamphlet. That is the blue S2 350. That's right. It was my dad's first motorcycle. Very cool. The orange one, too. And man, that is just so awesome. Thank you. You guys are the best.
Welcome, man. Our pleasure.
This is what it's all about, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Such a cool spot. I've said this before too, Tennessee has to be one of the most beautiful states. Guys, it's a mystery. We're here at Two Stroke Bike Week. KDX here. Unfortunately, she's wounded. We got all of our experts around wondering what is that fluid, right? What is it?
You want to hear how good it runs on that stuff?
It
loves it.
What year KDX first off?
83.
83.
And 84 fuel.
84. What is that? It looks.
Nectar of the gods.
Nectar of the. Uh-oh.
I got neutral. You want to see me die, don't you?
Well, I'm glad you were able to make a few laps. So what is it? You said you were having a leaky petcock. Is that the problem here?
Well, I think I got that fixed, but it overflows.
Oh, okay.
So that's a, 40-year-old float, so it's probably porous.
And we have oil mixed with, I mean, that's more than pre-mixed right there, right?
Yeah, this is the stuff that was
was gonna say.
Originally in it, I drowned it. I drained it out.
Oh, you're okay. So it was already contaminated.
Yeah.
But how about it? It is a cool KDX. Brings back a lot of memories. Thought that I would share that with you. I thought that KDX is so cool. Brought back some memories, guys. How special is that to actually be able to get behind the handlebars and go?
Well, it's just an awesome event. Riding the roads up here are phenomenal. Just a great week of riding. And again, we're riding them. We're not, hiding them. We're bringing them out and using them for what they were built to do.
What's some of the feedback you get from some of your guys up here? I know that they just look forward to this all year long. It is the ultimate week-long retreat, ultimate vacation, which again is funny because a lot of people go to the beach or to the Vegas or something, but right here in the mountains, this is the destination for two-stroke fans.
Absolutely. Most of us that come up here, our year revolves around this vacation event. We plan it out for the whole year. We work on our bikes, get prepared, and come up here and hit the Dragon, hit all the roads around the Chirahola.
Oh yeah, I love that. That was a smoker.
We cranked it up. It didn't run like
You see all different types of motorcycles here for sure, though. A lot of Harleys and a lot of supermoto bikes. I got to say that might be one of the best setups to run here. Everything is so tight. These nice, light, nimble bikes with exceptional braking power may be just what the doctor ordered.
It will be very long.
I told you you'll see anything on the Dragon. We got a DR here. Now, sir, what made you bring a DR to the Dragon?
I have several motorcycles. I live across the street, and this was tonight's choice.
Okay, so this is nothing new for you. Now, being that you live across the street, and I'm sure you have been through the 318 curves many times, is it the smaller, lightweight bikes that are more comfortable in a situation like this?
They're pretty sweet. They're faster than you would expect.
Okay. Now, in terms of having to worry about outsiders or maybe the just small percentage of people that come here and get carried away, is there anything you look for that, man, I'm going to stay away from this guy, or certain times that you try to avoid?
You see those quite a bit, but at this time of day, you're pretty much out there by yourself.
All right, well, let's see.
Or with the people that know what they're doing.
Okay, well, I want to see it. Suzuki
Okay,
DR 200 power. Here we go. We're going to watch him rip up the hill.
Yeah, rip. Oh, it'll rip.
Anybody who's ever loaded a motorcycle in the back of the pickup truck knows this trick. That's some smart men right there. Line it up right there. Such a cool spot.
We just have a blast up here riding.
Well, I appreciate you having me again. I love it. Anybody keeping these two strokes alive is doing a good deed to the motorcycle community, in my humble opinion. And finally, if somebody's watching this and they want to be a part of this, we know there's only so many rooms, but taking a look at the vast woods around here, I'm sure there's a place to put up a tent. We'll find room, whatever. What do people got to do if they want to come get involved?
Well, if they want to come get involved, they need to go to the board. It's Cowie2strokes.com.
Okay, cool.
And that's, we've got the form up there. We announce the dates. We take the reservations. But on top of that, there are many, many locations within about 20 miles. A lot of them in Robbinsville where people can stay. There are campgrounds available too. And, you know, this is the headquarters, but there's a lot of other places that can accommodate people if they want to come check it out.
No doubt about it. Well, again, congratulations on another successful event, guys. Carl Zavoni on Facebook. You can message him as long as you're going to talk two strokes. You know he loves it. That's also where you can get the Cycle Drag shirt, Cycle Drag Facebook. Thank you very much for that. Guys, it was awesome. We did it again. If you haven't seen our video from last year, go back and watch that one. Two-Stroke Bike Week 2023, absolutely crazy. Big thanks to all these guys. If you like that video, here's another one for you. Subscribe right in the middle. And if there's anything fast motorcycles, especially two strokes, we're in. Cycle Drag rolls on. Woo!